Guys, so we're going to be talking about your mental health. Right now, it's considered a very normal thing these days to have this sort of background sense of anxiety, mental fatigue. Um, I just want to clarify that that is absolutely not normal. It's okay because no one's taught you how to deal with it, but this isn't a normal thing for humans to deal with, right? And so I'm going to explain why this happens and what you can be doing to fix this. It's a very, very simple solution, honestly. I'm surprised more people don't recommend it because it's done absolute wonders for me. So let's get right into it. Now, as for what happens, your whole day is filled with stresses, small things, right? Like maybe someone says something to you that fucked with your head a bit, or maybe even if it was just raining and it just pissed you off a little bit. The day is filled with these stresses, right? And those negative emotions that rise as a result of that incident, it's not like the thing happens, your emotions go up, and then after however long they come back down and you're straight back to baseline. It doesn't quite work like that. Basically, those negative emotions, they accumulate. They accumulate throughout the day. So if you've ever noticed, like at the end of a hard day, your head's it's just fucked up. You don't. It's not quite like that throughout the day, right? It's more like, and then just gradually you become more and more anxious, more and more stressed, more and more confused. What the hell is that? More and more confused, right? And basically when you don't deal with this at the end of each day, this stress and pressure, like in your mind, it builds up. So day after day, if you don't deal with it, you keep becoming more anxious, more stressed, more confused, and you won't really understand what is the cause of that sense of, like, an ambient sense of anxiety. So many people, they just have this resting sense of anxiety, and they just think, either they don't acknowledge it. That's what a lot of people do. Either you don't acknowledge it, or if you do acknowledge it, you sort of just decide that's part of life. You just decide that's part of life, and it's something I've got to deal with. Well, guess what? It's not. It isn't at all, right? Now, yeah, the way emotions work, at least for our purposes now, the simplified explanation of it is you need to set aside time specifically to recap your day. Okay, bring up all those emotions that have risen throughout the day that you haven't yet addressed and like given yourself time to feel fully. And then once you bring all of that up, it's then able to sort of dissipate. And then comes a kind of calm and tranquility that you really want. That's the kind of calm and serenity that you see these spiritual gurus, and they just they seem like they're fucking in like dreamland all the time. Like I'm not gonna try to sell you enlightenment, right, from watching one YouTube video, but it helps a lot to doing this practice. It gives you a clearer, more peaceful, happier mind, and of course that's what we want, right? So what is the practice? Journaling, specifically deep journaling. So basically what I want you to do is pick a 10-minute window, ideally like right before you go to sleep. It doesn't have to be the very last thing, but just make sure it's at the same time every day. That's crucially important, because if you leave it open to your decision each day what time you're going to do it, it will just end up slipping through your fingers and you won't make a real practice of it. And of course, what we're aiming for with all these habits I'm giving you is consistency. That is the absolute top priority. Even if No, don't worry. So, pick a 10-minute window at the same time every day, preferably at the end of the day, but if you have to do it in the morning, so be it. What I want you to do is get a notepad and pen, keep it by your bed. That is ideal, on a bedside table or on the floor, wherever. Keep it by your bed and just write let all those things flow that you've been repressing throughout the day. So say I don't know, someone commented on your appearance and it really hurt and you felt insecure. And, as people, we tend to overreact massively to such insignificant things. Just no shame about what you're feeling. Just let it all out. Say you feel pissed off, say you feel insecure, say you feel like you could hurt them, like anything, right? Just whatever is the truth, let it out. Don't hold anything back, because whatever you hold back, right? If you don't let that come out, it's not going to be able to dissipate. It's going to stay there, and that pressure is going to keep building and building and building, and it's going to weigh down so heavily on your mind, and it's just not a good way to live. Right? No one wants to live like that. So yeah, 10-minute session at the same time every day, ideally at the end of the day, and just let flow every thought, emotion that rose throughout the day that you didn't really give time to express fully. And pay specific attention to those thoughts and emotions which repeated a lot throughout the day, because basically that repetition is kind of your mind's way of telling you, you really need to look at this specifically, fully flesh it out, explore it, because in that, this is a bit off topic, but in that thing that your brain's telling you to look at, there will be an opportunity to gain much greater self-knowledge, right? It sounds a bit wishy-washy, I know, but just try it out. You will see the benefits, and trust me, it is fucking incredible. So I just want to share this with you guys because it's helped me out so much, right? Honestly, I think it's one of the best things you can do for mental health, aside from maybe meditation. I mean, it might even be better than that, to be honest. I really, really believe in this practice, genuinely. Yeah. Now, this isn't the be-all and end-all of mental health, like I've kind of briefly touched on just then. It won't, you won't be competing with like the Buddha after this. You're not gonna be experiencing absolute serenity, and you're not gonna be rid of all negative thoughts for the rest of your life. Of course not, but it really goes a long way. If you visualize like a string that you've kept in your pocket for like 2 years, you pull it out, you see how knotted and tangled it is. That's basically what your mind is now, before you've really committed to this practice and let it sort of gradually unravel. And once you do that, and you have that not perfectly evened out, untangled string, but for the most part pretty smooth string of a mind, that's the analogy of a mind, it's really like a veil has been lifted. It's such a beautiful experience, and well, I'm here because I want you guys to experience that for yourselves. What else is there? If you see me looking down, it's because I've got a script down here because there's too much information for my brain to hold on to. Yeah, I can understand you would have doubts now. I had doubts, I think, when I first heard about it. I mean, it makes sense. The practice makes sense once you've actually been in the self-improvement space for a bit. But when you're kind of first starting out, it sounds woo-woo, wishy-washy, like, why am I writing about my feelings? That's gay, right? That's gay. But trust me, bro, you will be a better man for it in just about every way you can imagine. So, actionable step. All I ask of you is after this video, just get a notepad and pen and spend 5 minutes writing about all those thoughts and emotions that have been circulating in your mind throughout the day up to that point. If it's early in the morning, maybe do the previous day, whatever. But for the love of God, don't hold anything back. That is all.